Welcome to A Call to Action. It's a series presented by Brattleboro Community Television and Great Eastern Radio. We're covering many different topics from the food chain and banking. Today, we're talking to Lieutenant Robert Perkins from the Brattleboro Police Department, and we're talking about the governor's new declaration to stay at home, and that goes until April 15th, I believe. And this is all in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So, first and foremost, I mean, there's a lot of unpacking that we need to do. People just don't know what all this means. What does it mean?
Uh, Really, what it is to obviously, as if everyone's not aware, it's to help try to stem the spread of this virus and protect those of the vulnerable population, um, and also to protect yourselves in maintaining or trying to keep this virus from spreading, so that we can all go on about our lives as quickly as possible.
Yeah. So one of the things that I know that I've been kind of rinsing and repeating when I'm trying to message out, the faster that people comply, and I get that it's inconvenient, and I don't envy anybody who has to put a badge on every day to try to help enforce this and help the people who don't seem to understand it make sense of it. But the faster we can comply, the faster this thing is over. Is that also messaging that the police department is putting out?
Exactly. We haven't seen anything like this for, as you know, in our lifetime, or as far as my lifetime. This is all new. I've been policing for almost 30 years, and this is completely something I've never experienced before. So, yeah, if we can assist with the mandates that are set by our officials to help stop the spread of this pandemic, the quicker that we can do that, the quicker we can get this done with and get over with, and move on, and go about doing the things that we did before this all started.
Yeah, and it's escalated quickly, and right now, according to charts and graphs, and with the understanding that this thing is a moving target. I mean, right now everything's on its trajectory to double every 2.5, 3 days, which I think is why Governor Scott kind of passed down this kind of stay-at-home order. But as we begin to unpack this, a few things that had come up in my social media feed that I noticed was like, what does essential travel mean? What and so maybe we can kind of clear that up. What does that mean?
Essential travel is that moving about that is necessary. Things like, you need to go to the store, you need food, you need medications. If you have vulnerable adults that need to be checked on, and there's no other means which to do that, you don't reach them by phone. Essential travel is just that. It's travel that is required to maintain or to sustain your well-being, so to speak. Unnecessary travel are those things like, I know people want to get out of the house because they feel like they're being cooped up, but it's, just riding around because I want to get out of the house, or I want to go do whatever it is that's non-essential, or those means, or those activities that are non-essential. It just simply means stay home.
Yeah.
The less that you're exposing yourself and you're exposing others, again, like we talked about, the quicker that hopefully we can get this resolved and get this over with.
Right. And in the case of one of the interesting things is what does it mean in the terms of like for joint custody of children in a divorced couple? Does that constitute essential travel?
Um, I would say that, and I know some people would probably disagree with me. Um, if it's not an emergency and you can withstand not doing those exchanges, again, hopefully this is short term. If you can withstand not doing those exchanges, probably the best thing to do would be to stay in your residence, keep those children in your residence. Um, if it is an issue that arises to some legal challenges, contact your court, if you are represented by an attorney or have representation, do that. I would consider that that would be unnecessary travel in that means, in that respect. It's not long term. It's going to be hopefully for the short, for the short haul. If you don't need to do those essential type tasks, leave them for later.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think what we're trying to do here is get folks to kind of deploy as much common sense through what is really just not common. I mean, I've been saying over and over again that nobody pandemics well. We're just we're literally just trying to figure this all out. As you alluded to a few minutes ago, that nobody's been through this. We here in the United States have been somewhat sheltered from having to kind of withstand this sort of a thing, but here we are now, and how we act now will determine how quickly we get through it on the other end. But for the most part, at least within your jurisdiction here in Brattleboro, have you found that most people are paying attention?
I believe so. From what I've seen, yeah, it's odd having grown up in Brattleboro to see downtown around 5 o'clock to have like little to no traffic and nobody walking around. It's just really, really odd. So since this has all started, I've seen a decrease in foot traffic, vehicular traffic. So I think people are um, are self-quarantining themselves or staying off the street, staying at home. So in most part, I believe that most people are genuine, or and believe that they need to take care of themselves, and by taking care of themselves, they take care of others by maintaining their social distancing and staying home when they need to.
Now, just to be clear, what we're dealing with is not a police action. So if somebody just kind of steps outside their apartment building just to breathe some fresh air, they're not. There's no legal action coming toward them in that regard. So I just put that out there to sort of calm everybody down, because there's been, and again, I'm kind of getting a lot of my information based on social media as to the response to Governor Scott's orders, so I think that, but what we're trying to urge here is the fact that we need to pay attention. If the governor needs to sign a declaration saying that we need to do this, I literally have a document here that I'm supposed to keep in my car that allows me, as a member of the media, to be deemed essential. So if I need to get pulled over, I have to present those papers. I mean, that's right where we are right now.
Right. We're limiting our own exposure in that means, in that we're not doing that type of enforcement unless it's something that's like really very serious. So we're limiting our exposure to the public and the public to us. We're not going to be setting up roadblocks. We're not going to be pulling people over if we see you out. We're not going to be questioning you. Where are you going? What are you doing? That's just not the business or the type of community that we want. We're going to entrust that people are going to use common sense, as you mentioned before, and only doing those things that they need to run their daily lives, their family lives, and that they'll abide by the governor's directive to stay home when they have to, or when they're necessary to.
Okay. And again, we are looking at this until mid-April, and this is just the times that we're in. Anything that you want to put in or put out there that maybe we haven't covered, that the PD would really like to get out there as far as information is concerned?
Again, I think like the other information that's out there, take care of yourselves. Be aware of your health. If you're starting to feel or see the symptoms develop, follow those directives. Contact your primary care physician. Follow their directions. We're hoping that people will remain civil, polite to one another. I mean, if you still see things that are going on within your neighborhood or criminal activity, please call us. It's not that we're not here. We're just a phone call away. We still will respond to calls. Obviously, we have to prioritize those as necessary, because we have to limit ourselves and our exposure. If the police department goes down, I don't know what we would do in that response, for anybody that needed our services. So please still watch your neighbors, watch your neighborhoods. Contact us with any concerns you have, even if it's just a question, um, things that you're unsure of. We're here to help in any means we can. So with that, I would just say that we're here.
All right, and a phone call away. Hopefully, a phone call that doesn't need to be made. Hopefully, you guys are, you're being safe. I don't admire anybody that that has to go out and do what you do, but you have to. First, all of our first responders are deemed essential. You, fire department, EMS. So, thank you for the work that you're doing during what has got to be really trying and confusing times.
You're welcome, and it definitely is.
All right. Well, I thank you for your time. Thank you for clarifying some of this some of this information. We may call on you again, as this whole thing is a moving target for sure, and we're all just trying to figure it out. But thank you for your time today, and be safe.
All right, thank you.